Hey guys, welcome back. I've got a bit of a shorter video for you today because most of Akkala can kind of blur together when you traverse it on horseback. I'm pretty sure I went all the way from the South Akkala stable to the East Akkala stable without dismounting my horse. I was wildly unlucky in that most of the shrines I found in this chunk of game were all apparatus shrines, which I seriously do not enjoy. But either way, I managed to get them all done and make it up to the Ancient Tech Lab, so let's get into it. We're going to start on the side of Death Mountain and glide our way downwards towards the Woodland Tower. I'm just going to land on the closest platform and snipe any enemies that I can reach from there, and then continue on towards the base of the tower. Now that we have that map unlocked, we can warp back to the top of Death Mountain and glide down until we hit the Zikasho Shrine in the South Akkala stable. I'm going to stop on any of the higher peaks of rock that I see to regain stamina, since I haven't upgraded my stamina wheel at all yet. Zikasho is another one of those stupid apparatus shrines, and this is one of the harder ones, in my opinion. This first part isn't all that bad, and the upcoming section isn't either. It's the last locked door and motion puzzle that's a real bitch. Just shift the spikes out of the way to clear a path down the middle of the platform, and make sure it's angled slightly towards you so you can make the jump. This one's just timing based. I'm not even going to bother looking for the chest because I'm trying to mentally prepare myself for this next part that I hate so much. Okay, last locked door and apparatus. This one can seriously eat up some time if you attempt it with Joy-Cons. I already had my Switch docked and Pro Controller out, and for whatever reason I just killed this one on the first attempt. I've honestly been really lucky with the apparatus shrines on this run, and fingers crossed that I didn't just jinx anything.
Hi.
Now, after we grab Epona out, there's not much to do other than follow the path all the way from South Akkala Stable to the East Akkala Stable. I'm gonna take the left side of the path because I feel like it's slightly faster, but ultimately they both lead you to the same place. Along the way, we can head towards the Akkala Tower to unlock the section of map that we're currently working on. If my parrying skills and shield supply were better, I might have been able to attempt this tower the way the devs intended. But I'd rather cheese my way across Hyrule, so we're basically going to camp out until the rain stops and climb our way up the side of the mountain instead of taking the Citadel stairs. Ah, there we go. We should be able to just beeline our way to the base of the tower as long as we avoid Guardian sentry beams. Oh, that's right, the Malice. Well, we can take out any Malice eyes that we see and hope the path forward is semi-distinct and easily followed. This one metal plank should be enough to get us where we need to go. There are a handful of guards we'll need to take out on our way, but I don't think there's any groups. I think they're all one-offs. We'll have to use the tower as a jumping point to get to a higher level so we can jump over top of that layer of Malice that's directly on the tower. I'm basically just gonna keep climbing until I'm high enough to clear the Malice. Oh, finally. I've done most of this playthrough, including the Fireblight Ganon fight, with no shield. This'll come in handy. This little overhang looks perfect. Let's climb up that. A little close for my liking, but it'll do. Now that we have this little bit of map activated, we can start creeping our way up to Robbie at the Akkala Ancient Tech Lab. We'll warp back to the Zcacho Shrine so we can grab Epona again and follow this one path basically all the way to our destination. We can stop at the East Akkala stable to register it on our map and head up to the Katosa Og Shrine, which is another stupid apparatus shrine, but this one might win the award for the easiest of the motion control puzzles.
Wow! Yay!
Simply activate the apparatus and gently swing your controller to tap the ball into the hole. Takes next to no force. And ta-da, shrine completed. Let's get back to the meat and potatoes of this journey. We'll get back on the path and just keep going until we hit this specific outcropping of rock, because there's a sneaky asshole hiding right behind it, and we'll regret not taking him out later, believe me. Now that that's taken care of, we can head into the lab and meet Robbie's absolutely bizarre request of removing all our clothes so he can see our scars to verify that we're actually Link.
Hi. Oh.
He's gonna set us on our second blue flame quest, where we need to deliver a blue flame from a distant location to the furnace at the front of the lab. This trek is significantly harder than the first one we did in Hateno. There's a butt ton of enemies between the blue flame and the furnace here.
Oh.
I was planning on heading straight to the flame when I realized that I should drop short and take out whatever enemies I see between here and the blue flame to make the return trip easier. This camp was stupid easy. I managed to take everyone out from a distance. That guy was also shockingly easy to take out from a distance. Now, this fight was actually a pretty close call for me. I think I was just overwhelmed by the numbers with all four of them coming at me at once. I ended up mostly getting lucky and getting my feet under me at the last second to dance between the moblin's feet. We made it to the blue flame, but it's raining, so we're gonna have to hang around for a minute before we can transport it. Okay, let's try that again. I didn't take out every monster between here and the lab, so I'm gonna keep lighting every lantern I see along the way so I don't have to start all the way over if I have to pull out a weapon or if it starts raining again. Gonna try and just run right past this guy to light the lantern just past him so I don't have to do any backtracking if I actually pull it off. The rain starts again, so we can take out this next enemy and start waiting for better weather so we can continue forward. right about here is where we're going to be very thankful that we took out that guardian on our way to the lab. There we go. We've gotten Robbie's lab powered back up with the blue flame, so now there's just one more thing I want to do in Akkala before I bugger out of here. We'll head west from the lab and try to stay on higher ground so we don't have to do too much climbing when we get to the eye of Skull Lake, so we can get to our first blessing shrine of this playthrough. If we stay up high enough on this mountain while we're heading towards Skull Lake, we can paraglide pretty close to the top of the pyre in the eye of the lake. Okay, that's not super far from the top, so we didn't do all that bad here. Let's climb the rest of the way up so we can activate our last shrine for this region. Ugh, love a good blessing shrine. Now we might as well glide down to the other eye and talk to Kilton so he can move on and open up his shop. And that's it for the Akkala region for now. We've gotten a bunch of my least favorite shrines out of the way, and we got our spirit orb count up quite a bit. We transported the blue flame from Tumley Heights to the Akkala Ancient Tech Lab, and we received a handful of ancient arrows from Robbie for our troubles. We can also come back later after we grind out a few more guardians to trade ancient bits and pieces for ancient gear, which is pretty top tier for when we eventually sneak through Hyrule Castle looking for goodies. Next time we're going to make our way up to Vauruta and get Zora's Domain out of the way. Thanks for coming along so far.